There was once a young man named Alex who lived in a busy city. He was in his 20s, had a good job and plenty of hobbies. But there was one problem. Alex couldn't focus on anything. Every morning, Alex would wake up with big plans. He would tell himself, "Today I'm going to be productive." He'd sit at his desk ready to work. But within minutes, his mind would wander. His phone would buzz and he'd check it. Then he would start scrolling through social media, forgetting all about his work. Hours would pass and Alex would get nothing done. One evening, after another wasted day, Alex sat on his couch feeling frustrated. "Why can't I focus on anything?" he thought. He wanted to change, but he didn't know how. His job was suffering, his personal goals were slipping, and even his friends were noticing. Every time he tried to talk to them, his mind would drift and he couldn't stay in the conversation. The next day, Alex decided to figure out what was going wrong. He wanted to understand why his mind kept wandering and how he could fix it. So he grabbed his notebook and made a plan. Step 1. Finding the distractions. Alex knew one of his biggest problems was distractions. So the first thing he did was look around his room. His phone was always by his side, buzzing with notifications from social media, messages, and emails. Every time he tried to work, the sound of a notification would grab his attention. "Maybe if I turn off my phone, I can focus better," he thought. The next day, Alex put his phone on silent and placed it in another room. He sat down to work again, but after a few minutes, his brain still wandered. He found himself thinking about random things like what he would eat for lunch or a funny video he watched earlier. "Okay, it's not just my phone," he said to himself. "I need to go deeper." Step 2. The problem of multitasking. Alex had heard people talk about multitasking and he thought he was good at it. He would listen to music while working, check his email during meetings, and keep several tabs open on his computer. But maybe, he thought, multitasking was actually hurting his focus. One afternoon, Alex decided to try something new. Instead of doing many things at once, he would focus on just one task. He closed all the extra tabs on his computer, turned off the music, and only opened the document he needed to work on. At first it felt strange. His brain kept telling him to check his email or open another tab. But after a while, something surprising happened. He started to concentrate. For the first time in a long time, Alex felt himself getting into the flow. He worked for almost an hour without stopping, and when he was done, he felt proud. So, multitasking really was the problem, Alex realized. When I focus on one thing, I get more done. Step 3. The power of sleep. As Alex continued his journey to improve his focus, he started noticing something else. On the days when he didn't get enough sleep, his mind felt foggy. He would wake up tired, and throughout the day he couldn't concentrate on anything for long. "I've been staying up too late," Alex thought. He often stayed up watching TV shows or playing video games, telling himself he would catch up on sleep later. But the truth was, the lack of sleep was affecting his focus. That night, Alex decided to make a change. He turned off his screens an hour before bed, and instead of scrolling on his phone, he read a book. He went to bed early, and for the first time in weeks, he woke up feeling refreshed. The next day, Alex noticed something amazing. His mind was sharp. He felt more focused, more alert, and he was able to get through his tasks much faster. "Sleep is the secret," Alex thought. "When I take care of my body, my mind works better." Step 4. Handling stress and anxiety. One day, as Alex was trying to work on a big project, he felt a familiar feeling creeping in: stress. His chest tightened and his thoughts raced. "What if I mess this up?" he worried. His heart started to pound and he found it hard to focus. Alex realized that stress and anxiety were a big part of his problem. Whenever he felt overwhelmed, his brain would shut down and he couldn't focus on anything. He remembered hearing about how stress can block your ability to concentrate. Determined to fix this, Alex started practicing some simple techniques to calm his mind. He tried deep breathing exercises, taking slow, deep breaths to relax his body. He also took short breaks during work to stretch and clear his head. Over time, these small actions made a big difference. Whenever he felt stressed, Alex would remind himself to take a break and breathe. His focus improved and he found himself handling big tasks without getting overwhelmed. Step 5. Boredom and lack of interest. One afternoon, Alex sat down to write a report for work. But after just 5 minutes, his mind started to wander. Why is this so boring? He thought. No matter how hard he tried, he just couldn't make himself focus. Alex realized that part of his problem was boredom. Some tasks just didn't interest him, and his brain would do anything to avoid them. To solve this, Alex decided to try something new. He broke the boring task into smaller steps and gave himself a reward for finishing each one. For example, after completing a section of the report, he allowed himself to take a 5-minute break or eat a small snack. This simple trick worked wonders. Suddenly, the task didn't feel so long or boring. With each small goal, Alex felt a sense of accomplishment, and he was able to stay focused until the job was done. Step 6. Setting clear goals. Another thing Alex noticed was that he often started working without a clear goal. He would sit down and say, "I need to work," but he didn't know exactly what he wanted to achieve. Without a clear direction, his mind would drift. So, Alex decided to start setting specific goals before each task. Instead of just saying, "I need to study," he would say, "I will study chapter 3 for 30 minutes. Instead of saying, "I need to work on the project," he would say, "I will write the introduction of the project in the next hour." This simple change made a big difference. Having a clear goal helped Alex stay focused because he knew exactly what he needed to do. And when he reached his goal, he felt a sense of achievement. Step 7. The impact of diet and exercise. As Alex continued to explore the reasons behind his lack of focus, he started thinking about his diet and exercise. He realized that on the days he ate junk food, he felt sluggish and tired. On the days he didn't move much, his energy was low. Alex decided to make a change. He started eating healthier with more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. He also made time for regular exercise, even if it was just a 15-minute walk around the block. The results were clear. Alex's energy levels improved, and so did his focus. He no longer felt sluggish during the day, and his brain felt sharper. Step 8. Reducing screen time. One of the last things Alex realized was that he was spending too much time in front of screens. Whether it was his phone, computer, or TV, the constant stimulation was overloading his brain. Social media, in particular, was a big distraction. Every time he checked his phone, he would lose track of time and end up scrolling for far too long. Alex decided to limit his screen time. He set a rule for himself: no phone during work hours. He also used apps that helped him block social media for certain periods. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, he spent that time doing other things like reading, exercising, or spending time with friends. Limiting his screen time helped Alex regain control of his focus. Without the constant distraction of his phone, he found it easier to stay on task. After several weeks of trial and error, Alex finally understood why he couldn't focus on anything. It wasn't just one thing. It was a combination of distractions, stress, poor sleep, boredom, and unhealthy habits. But by making small changes, he was able to regain his focus and start getting things done. Alex's journey shows that anyone can improve their focus with the right approach. By reducing distractions, managing stress, setting clear goals and taking care of your body and mind, you can train yourself to concentrate better and achieve your goals more effectively.